Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! Seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead! Behind the screen, Harper got a piece of it, it comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it, and to the middle of the 15, to the 20, breaks free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the post, 20, 15, Hester 5.
For the 3rd time in 6 seasons, it's one goal achieved. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it through to Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. Wait. There's more. Go to our YouTube channel if you're watching us on our YouTube channel. Excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, guys. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, you can also tweet us. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online. You want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Listen, we got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let's check the chat, because the chat is jumping already, and I like it. I like it a lot. My man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. checking in first today. Papa, what's up, bro? He's like, Shawn. What's up, Junior? Thanks for tuning in. Cornelius Squalls in the house. Morning, Armando, Shawn, and Sports Zoners. That's what we're talking about. Mr. Southside himself. What up? What's up on a hump day? See hashtag CRED FGB. What? FGB. Forever FGB. Brandon Shuts in the house. What's up, buddy? How are you? Thank you for tuning in, my man. I appreciate you. Thank you. He's like, what up? He said, good morning. Patty Lara's in the house. Said, what up, dear Shawn? Good morning. So, I mean, Jeremiah must be watching with her, and maybe Monica as well. Good morning, ladies and young man. I appreciate you tuning in. Levette Lee's in the house. What up, Levette? Like, hello, Primo. That's all she said. No hi to me, no nothing. All right, bet. All right, bet. Crooked Commish said, Shawn, it was a hell of a season. It was there for the taking, but the moment seemed too big for some players. Talk about it. Jay Grizz in the house. Good morning, SuperBack and Sports Owners. Jay Grizz coming from the city of brotherly love out east in Motown, Philly. Back again. doing a little East Coast swing with us. I love it. I love it. Jay Grizz, thank you for tuning in, Papa. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know that. I do know that. Listen, I had a chance to review that film, and you know, see, I don't. Oh, 21. I had a chance to review the film, and there's a lot more. I have a lot more questions now than definitive statements. A lot more questions than definitive statements. Yeah, Jay Gibbs is right, man. Do me a favor, smash the like button. I'd appreciate that. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button as much as you want during the show. Just for shits and giggles. Okay? Just hit the like button. Please do that for me. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. We got a lot to talk today. We got Bulls. My Bulls were in action last night at the United Center on the west side. Okay. The Blackhawks were in action the night before on the west side. We have some new Hall of Famers. All right, in the mix in the Baseball Hall of Fame. We're going to talk about that as well. And did I do that? I don't know if I did that already. I did do that. White Sox finally made a move. The final piece to that unfulfilled era. That embarrassingly richly talented class is now gone. We'll talk about that later as well. It hurts my soul. Hurts my soul because I still liked him. I just think he didn't have the proper guidance while he was here. So, you have managers who didn't take a vested interest in this guy, and this guy's a 5-tool player. We'll talk about that as well. And then, like I said, I took a deeper dive into the film of sorry. I took a deeper dive into the film, and I have a lot of questions. I got a lot of problems with you people. No. And I don't know. I don't know if we're ever gonna get a straight answer from Caleb, or we might get it from Ben Johnson. There's an interview, there's a press conference, today up at Hallis Hall this morning. So we might be able to get the truth from Ben Johnson on that final Bears offensive play that resulted in an interception on Caleb's part. DJ Moore situation. So I don't know. Brandon Schutz checking in. What's up, Bob? I said, my mom and I are going to the Fan Fest for the Houston Nationals. That's cool. Cub Fest with this weekend. I think Sox Fest is this weekend. Sox Fest is a joke right now, man. Sox Fest is a joke. And Anyone tells you different is lying to you. All right, there's a huge fan base of White Sox fans. And to have that thing at the Rimowa Theater is embarrassing. All right, because now you want to say, people want to ask, do you regret hiring Tony La Russa and ruining that team? All right, people are going to want to ask that, but I highly doubt they're going to have the front office available for questions because White Sox fans are going to ask that. You're joking around, but you're not. But it's not far off, dude. Junior says, "Sox best being held at the nail salon at Walmart." Go ahead, keep taking your shots, you son of a gun. My nephew Mondo in the house. Sox are a joke. Punch in your baby nuts, but you're right. They are. Right now they are. Old man Reinsdorf is not a fan-friendly owner. No, he's not. And that's the frustrating part, is the fans are loyal. The fans go there, they spend money. Every opening day is sold out. Crosstowns are sold out. Other big games are sold out. You get good crowds. They love baseball. They love this team. And he don't give a shit. All right, having it at the Rimowa Theater. It's ridiculous. It's not like he doesn't have the money. You're a billionaire. You own the Bulls and the White Sox. It's funny, Steve. Steve says, wait, I thought Sox Fest was being held at the Super 8 in Blue Island. Take your shots now, Cub fans. Take your shots now. Sons of biscuits. Take your shots now. It's okay. But I'm disappointed about that. I'm annoyed. I'm actually embarrassed by that. And any Sox fan should be. It should be. And when will this organization be relevant again? I know my guy Eddie from Output, he hasn't been to a Sox game in 2 years. He said he refuses to give them his money. Did I go to a game last year? I don't know. I think I might have gone to one. But already my guy is he already put out tickets for the Crosstown Classic May 15th. On the south side, Cub Sox. Oh, stupid. Come on. There you go. Yes, here we go. Friday, May 15th, Saturday, May 16th, Crosstown Classic on the south side. 2 outings. It's going to be pretty dope. So he's already putting that out. And I don't know if I want to go. Chad Spears checking in. What's up, Baba? He's like, try being a Giants fan as I am, being in the same division as the Dodgers. Oh, San Francisco Giants. Oh, I get it. Yeah. Crooked Commissioner Shawn, big difference between the White Sox owner and the Bears owner for the story. And McCaskey picked up the Uber tab for all the Bears fans that took an Uber home from Soldier Field. Really? I didn't hear that. That's cool. So, yeah. My nephew Mondo says Sox infield is set to be good eventually. Murakami and Vargas platooning first. Shortstop Chase Mydroth, Acuna at second, and Monty at third. And you have the Rock Michalski coming. Yeah, he's coming soon. He's coming soon. So, interesting. Organizations. It's two different organizations doing business two different ways. And the Cubs are back to relevant again, sooner than the White Sox. So it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. One of the things that I did want to talk about, but we're going to hold off on it. We'll talk about that last play. It raises more questions. So what we are going to do, we're going to take a quick break. All right. On the other side of the break, we're going to get into top of the morning topics. All right. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brymere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You've called 911. This is an emergency
Do you
line.
know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Okay, is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American Airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
No, I don't know though. I'm scared. I mean, you're so
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport like that.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Good defense by Kobe White.
Turnover here by LA as White got into the passing lane. Finds Smith at the rim for the jam.
Good pass and good defense by Kobe White to lead to that fast break and a nice pass to finish.
Here's young Modest. He's the one that we both get asked about the most. Smith inside nice and one. On the feed from Buzelis.
That was a nice little whip pass from Modest.
Herder the rebound. He's pushing the pace. Nice solid game for him. Buzelis!
Get up or get out the way. Ooh, little boozy Burks.
Out for a Miller three. That's short. And Kobe Brown working hard. Swat off the glass. Dosunmu comes back and steals it away from Christie. Herder fires for White. Shovel for Vucevic.
Bucci Main sliding down Main Street.
A two. Oh, good. There is Okoro, Jones, White, Vucevic, Dosunmu. Good ball movement.
Bang, bang, bang.
Three. That's his second of the night and the 1,035th.
Welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of CHSN, Chicago Sports Network. Those were the Bullies last night. Flinging the ball around at the United Center, passing. Woo, some good passing yesterday. I like it. I liked it a lot. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. My man, King Booker World, checking in. Says, salute everybody. And Shawn, what's up, Papa? How are you? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. But listen, bro. Listen, guys. Let's get it crack-a-lacking, baby. Let's do it. Guys, you know how we do the first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
See, the first top of the morning topic. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? We'll start with Monday night. The Blackhawks, baby. What it is, yo. What's up? Blackhawks. Let me take the courtesy down. Don't need that. There we go. The Blackhawks last night on the West Side. With QB1 and PCA in the house, the Blackhawks beat the Winnipeg Jets. Oh, that was Monday night. I'm sorry. 2 nights ago with QB1 and PCA in the house. Spencer Knight stopped all 32 shots for the Blackhawks. Jason Dickinson lit the lamp for the 6th time. Connor Bedard lit the lamp for his 20th time of the season. Assist. Donato hit his 9th. Vlasic his 9th and 10th. And Mikheyev assisted for the 7th time this season. Stay with the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks, next top of the morning topic, the Blackhawks travel to Carolina tomorrow to face the Hurricanes. Puck drop is at 6 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on ESPN Plus or Hulu. Okay? Or you can listen to it on their flagship station, 7:20 a.m. The next top of the morning topic. Listen to Bulls recap, buddy. Oh, you gave me that one. I don't know why it didn't go on. That's crazy. I don't know. There it is. Thank you, sir. Next top of the morning topic, the Bulls. Only the Bulls. The Bulls were on fire yesterday. You just saw that coming out of break. The Bulls beat the LA Clippers 138-110. Kobe White led the way with 27 points. He was 6 for 10 from beyond the arc. It's 60%. He was smoking. Like the mask of Jim Carrey. Smoking. Matas Buzelis contributed 21 points. Nikola Vucevic, 19 points, 8 rebounds. And Southside's very own Ayo DeSumo, 18 points. He was 4 for 5 from beyond the arc. He was on fire. On fire. Crazy. I still don't have it in the folder. I know you put it up, Steve-O, but it's not in my – I can't see it on my end. That's funny. That's crazy. Do me a favor. We take that down as we go to the next top of the morning topic, the Bulls. Travel to Minnesota tomorrow to face the T-Wolves. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on CHSN or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. The next top of the morning topic, the Baseball Hall of Fame. The 2026 Baseball Hall of Fame inductees were named yesterday. Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones were the only 2 elected. This one, top of the morning topic, Carlos Beltran. Carlos Beltran was a 1999 Rookie of the Year, 9-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove winner, 2-time Silver Slugger, and a World Series champion in 2017. Definitely one heck of a career. The next top of the morning topic, staying with the Baseball Hall of Fame, Andrew Jones was selected to the Hall of Fame. He was a 5-time All-Star, 10-time Gold Glove winner, and a Silver Slugger award in 2005. He also played for the White Sox, I believe, in 2010 for one season. So it was a small class, as evidenced by only 2 people coming in. But there were some good things. You know, he needs 75% of the vote. One of the things, Mark Burley, Chicago's very own. Mark Burley got 20% of the vote and doubles what he had from the vote last year. And you know what? Maybe, excuse me, I think Burley will get in a year or 2, and here's why. Burley was the last of a dying breed. Okay? Burley was the last of a dying breed. Burley is a guy who would go 200 innings. You just eat him. The one thing about Mark Burley, every year, you could pencil him in for 200 innings. It was done. Done deal. It's not like that anymore. The way with which he pitched, okay? He got it and go. Got it and go. Got it and go. Got it and go. His games, I'll tell you what, the beer vendors didn't like when he pitched. In about 2 hours. One game was 1 hour and 37 minutes. A baseball game, a 9-inning baseball game, 1 hour and 37 minutes. The 7th inning came in. I mean, he got it and went. The Sox won, and I want to say 2-0, 1-0, 2-0, something like that. But he was dealing, just dealing, get it and go. The one thing about Mark Burley, he wasn't a strikeout pitcher. He pitched to contact. But when he was on, my goodness, like you could never get a good, never square it up. Very difficult to square up some of his pitches. His changeup, his fastball. He had phenomenal command of his fastball. And as I said, 1 hour and 37 minutes one game went. That is insane. All right. Never wanted to come out. Went 6+ almost every time. You could, for all intents and purposes, you could pencil in 7 innings with Mark Burley. For all intents and purposes. That's why I think he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He'll have a chance to, if he can get more support, because the more you see it, like next year, he might be able to garner more support because you're going to see more pitchers not doing what he can do. All right, with all the specialists and everything, you get a guy to go 3 innings or 4 innings. He comes out and everyone's, oh, great job. It's 4 innings. You went through the lineup once, barely. Barely. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Tomorrow. His birthday, King Book of World? Yes, it is. I'm on vacation starting today. I always take the week off for my birthday for vacation. King Book of World. Happy birthday, Papa. Happy birthday. Thank you for tuning in on your birthday. My nephew Mondo says another Hall of Famer that played for the Sox at the end of their career. Yeah. Albert Bell at the end of his career, although he played for a while with us. He had a couple seasons. All right, Ken Griffey Jr. Yeah. And Mondo says they don't make rubber arms like Burley anymore. No, they don't. That dude just get it and go. Get it and go. He didn't care. Get it and go. I made a statement doing a long time ago and got shit for it. I said Burley had Maddox-like control of his pitches. On good days, yes, he was untouchable. It's tomorrow, but thank you, Shawn. 27. Man, 27 years old. Damn, dog, you're a kid. Woo, you're a young buck. I did not forget, but Shawn, also Burley has a perfect game and a no-hitter. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Wow. Then Monday, next top of the morning topic. Monday in a national championship game. Indiana Hoosiers completed a perfect season, 16-0, by beating the Miami Hurricanes 27-21. Fernando Mendoza, Heisman Trophy winner, with an amazing, amazing game. Now, numbers-wise, but he put that team on his back. Excuse me. The run, the touchdown run he had, where he gets spun around, dives into the end zone, takes a shot in the middle of the back as he extends the ball over the goal line, will be one that will be etched in the minds of a lot of people, especially Indiana University alums, for a long, long time. Completed a 16-0 season. There hasn't been a 16-0 season since the 1800s. I think this is 1898. Yale finished the college season 16-0. So now the crazy statistic. This is a crazy statistic. Let me see if I screenshotted it. I don't think I did. Indiana now holds the last two perfect seasons in football and basketball. Perfect seasons while winning the NCAA title. I think it was 78-79. Indiana, and obviously on Monday. There was a lot of not controversy, a lot of excitement surrounding this national championship game. Miami hadn't been there in years. Indiana had never been there. And then the aspect of this, Miami was playing at home. Okay. Their head coach, Mario Cristobal, played for Miami, won a national championship with them in 1988. Okay, of Cuban descent. And the quarterback for Indiana is of Cuban descent as well. So ethnically, it was a win for the Hispanic culture. The head coach of Miami, Cuban descent. His parents were from Cuba. And the quarterback for Indiana, his grandparents were from Cuba. And what's also crazy is Mario Cristobal and Fernando Mendoza went to the same high school, Christopher Columbus High School in Miami. And what was really awesome about that is that Fernando Mendoza, he said it in his post-game interview, that Miami didn't want him coming out of high school. I think he was a 2-star. He wanted to be a preferred walk-on. They declined him. So he went about his business. Developing, getting better. And that's a lesson for all people, especially young athletes. Just because you're not celebrated the way you think you should be, continue handling your business. Continue going to work. Continue putting in the work. Isn't that our motto for 2026? Got to do the work. That's our motto. Okay? 2026 motto. You got to do the work. Continue doing the work. Because what's going to happen is you're going to sneak up on people. And this work may take a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. But when there's a goal in mind, it doesn't matter. You go every day. If it's one step forward, it's been a good day. One step forward closer to your goal, it's been a good day. Because at some point, you're going to get there. Okay, at some point, you're going to get there. This guy went from a kid who grew up in Miami, wanted to play for the Hurricanes. They told him, no, you're not good enough. He went about his business. How ironic, he faces Miami in the national championship game in Miami. So he got to play in front of his high school friends, his grammar school friends. Then he gets to play Miami, the team that told him, no, you're not good enough, and he beats them to bring Indiana its first ever football national championship. That is something that I tell you what, literally movies are made of. So, again, continue striving for your goals. You got to do the work. This kid was unbelievable. Going into that game, he had more touchdown passes than he had incompletions in the college football playoffs. He had 8 touchdown passes and 5 incompletions in those 2 games. Unfreaking believable. Before the game, of course. He had a few incompletes. Miami was good. Unreal. King Book of World says, turn yourself from undesirable to undeniable. And that's what he did. That's what Fernando Mendoza did. Won Heisman to validate his individual progress, and won the Natty, the national championship game, to highlight his team's progress. I love it, man. I love it. That's just dope. This one hurt. Overnight, the White Sox traded the final piece of that young, talented core from 2017, 2018. The White Sox traded Lewis Robert to the New York Mets. In return, the White Sox get infielder outfielder Luis Angel Acuna and right-handed pitcher Truman Pauly. Along with that goes his $22 million contract this year. And it's wow. You know, when you see this happen, he's the last remaining dude. Remember, even Andrew Vaughn was part of that mix. He's gone already. He went to Milwaukee, killing the Cubs. Thank you, Andrew. What do they say in Bronx? The worst thing in life is wasted potential. He never had anyone in this. This is why. This is why I tell you. This is why I'm adamant about coaching matters. You didn't have anyone to hold this guy accountable. You didn't have anyone to develop him. You didn't have anybody on his ass, which is why. Let me get this off. Which is why I said Ozzie would have been the best manager for that young team. He would have been the best manager for that young team. One, obviously, he speaks Spanish. He's from Venezuela. So whenever he's talking to him, there's nothing lost in translation. Ozzie is a great, great, great baseball mind. He would have forced these guys to work on the fundamentals. The fundamentals. This, I can't remember where I saw it. I saw it yesterday. I heard it yesterday. And it says when you get in trouble, when you get in a conflict, your training and your fundamentals come to the forefront. I'm paraphrasing, but when you're in a situation, when you're struggling, when you're in conflict, your training comes to the forefront. What have you been taught? You fall back on that. And he didn't have a lot of fundamentals. All right, he's swinging balls down, down and away. It started down and away, kept going down and away. I mean, he looked terrible. His plate discipline was awful at times. Yeah, he hits a moonshot, tape measure home runs. But again, like our Uncle Hawk Harrelson used to say, don't tell me how many hit, tell me when you hit them. Okay? And just wasted talent because Reinsdorf decided to do a stupid move and hire Tony La Russa to kind of make up for was 86 when he got fired by Hawk Harrelson. So he decides to bring him in instead of bringing Ozzie or Bruce Bochy or Joe Girardi. Any guys who have a World Series ring, who have a reputation for holding people accountable. That hurt that Southside team. That destroyed that young, talented core. Destroyed it. Destroyed it. Black Diamond checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you? Says top of the morning, gang. FGB. F the Shanahan tree. I'm still pissed at your boy, Shawn. Are you talking about DJ? Black Diamond? Is that what you're talking about? I think that's who you're talking about. Yeah. Upon further review, I'm not so sure. Now, don't get me wrong. I think he had a part in it, but there's a lot of questions about that I have to ask. Speaking of the next and last top of the morning topic, the Bears had their exit interviews the other day, and DJ Moore was not available to the media on Sunday after the game or on Monday as the Bears clean out their lockers. So I'm a little annoyed about that. So here's my thing. You know what? We got to take a break. It's 58. We got to take a break. So on the other side of the break, we're going to delve into that as well. Okay? We're going to delve into that, and I'll show you it's not as clear cut as some people think. It's not as clear cut. All right? So keep it locked right here. ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
At a time when the news seems as subjective as the partisan politics dividing this country, independent professional journalism has become a resource people need to get the honest and accurate information for their lives. That's why I created JQReports.com. As a born and raised Chicagoan, I know the city better than anyone. So my investigator stories are all original, and they'll go deeper to expose the truth by using information obtained from public information databases and in-depth interviews with the movers and shakers. My future stories will introduce you to people and businesses who are changing the world, not just Chicago. My missing person stories will spotlight those who you don't hear about in the mainstream media, who are often overlooked. If you want to hear my personal views on things around the world, check out my blog site, which is based off of factual information on my life experiences. There's also past episodes of my weekly sports podcast show, What's Up Cuz, that I host with my real-life cousin, Lance Urban. So if you're looking for all this information and more, check out jcoydenreports.com and follow me on Twitter at jcoyden.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can
in terms of where we are and how we're moving ahead. We go back to square one. It's back to the bottom again, and we got to build this thing back up. You know, Ryan and I have some really difficult decisions to make over the course of this offseason, but we're committed to bringing in competitive players, football players that are going to make us better time and time again. So on us and this team this year, you know, I got hired and was shortly thereafter that she passed away. And yet this year was really dedicated to her. You know, we wore the patch as a team in honor of her and the impact she's had on this organization in this city. So I'd be remiss if I didn't bring her up and talk about how important she was for us this year. With that being said, I'll go ahead and open it up.
And circling back to Sunday really quick, the last offensive snap, you guys ran the interception. What was your review of that play through Caleb's lens, through DJ's lens?
Yeah, I have not studied the tape a whole lot. My last 2 days have been focused solely on our players. We've had about 20 hours of exit interviews. It's all about our players. I'll go back, I'll review that tape. Here's what I'll say just off the cuff about that particular play. If there was any sort of miscommunication, that's my problem. That's no one else's but mine. So I got to do a better job coaching that up.
Philosophically, what do you guys like about getting the ball second?
Yeah, well, the overtime rules change in the postseason, and we felt like kicking it off was the way to go, so that we would know exactly what we need to do. So I'm not going to get into it a whole lot beyond that.
You said there's a lot of work to do. It's going to be more difficult. Besides Caleb, what gives you confidence that you guys are build off this and that
there is no building off of this. We go back to square one. We're back at the bottom again, and that's really all 32 teams. If you feel otherwise, you're probably missing the big picture. You know, we're back at. We got to start from scratch. We got to start from the fundamentals. You know, a lot of guys talked about how difficult this training camp was. I didn't feel like it was anything out of my ordinary. They know what the expectation is. They know what the process is that we believe in as a coaching staff. And so I think more than anything else, they're going to know what they're getting themselves into. And yet we got to dig a little bit deeper. We got to work a little bit harder. We got to give a little bit more if we want to take this thing over the top. I mean, it's no different. You're trying to lose weight. You're trying to lose 50 pounds. The first 30 is the easiest 30. You know, the last 20, that's the hard part. And so we did a nice job this year, but it's not enough. We got to do more.
What's the focus on with Caleb going into the offseason?
We'll circle back on that. We had a good exit interview. Just my main message to him was he needs to get out of football for a little bit. He's done a phenomenal job in terms of staying focused all year long. He put a lot of time, a lot of effort. I thought he grew up as a professional. I thought his communication to the coaching staff grew. I thought his communication to his teammates grew. But we will certainly have a number of points of emphasis that he can dive into when he comes back this springtime. But it's important for really all of us, coaches, players, support. We get away for a little bit. That button. I think everyone needs that here at this point. The things that we highlighted for Caleb to start the season, I did think they improved as the season went along. We revamped the footwork a little bit last spring, and I think the comfort level grew from that. He certainly got more comfortable with the concepts that we were running over the course of the season. That's something that we can build upon, and yet there's still a lot more that we can push through in that regard. And so I'm really encouraged about the steps he took this year. I'm Caleb Williams' #1 believer. I have a lot of faith in him, what he's capable of doing, and the player that he's still striving to become.
Did DJ Moore leave the building either discouraged or injured? Because it's extremely rare when he doesn't talk to us.
You would have to talk to him about his mindset. We had a really good exit interview, and he's a player that I felt really helped us get to the point to where we were this year. We had an opportunity there, a couple games away from the Super Bowl. So I thought he was a huge contributor to getting us there.
And acknowledging that you're resetting, you're starting over, what are some of the things that you built and the whole team built that are sustainable that you can see that guys can remember and still believe in, that they're going to help as you get back in April?
Well, I mean, our identity that we outlined, that we wanted to show on tape, I thought that came through, and we have it up in the team room. The words on a wall are one thing, but bringing it to life is another thing. And I thought those guys did that. The #1 thing was physicality. I thought we were a physical unit on tape. That always starts in the trenches with your big guys, but I really think your little guys on the perimeter, they really helped define that. I thought we had receivers that were selfless. They were willing to block for their buddies. I thought we had DBs that were willing to tackle. I thought that showed up these last 2 games in particular. Really proud of that. So physicality was the #1 thing that we hang our hat on. #2 is being sound, playing sound football, being fundamentally sound, and being schematically sound. And I thought that showed up week in and week out. We still can get better in some areas. Like when I think about being fundamentally sound, we got to do a better job catching the football next year. And I can tell you right now, that'll be a point of emphasis for us when they come back in the springtime. But the last one was being a poised unit. And this is the one I'm most proud about. Just that ended up being our identity there for most of the season, and showed up in the playoffs as well. Just we handled pressure better than most. And I think that's a credit to Ryan and the type of guys that he brought in. They're wired the right way. They thrive in those circumstances, and that showed up for us in a big way. Our coaching staff tried to apply pressure on them early on in the springtime and throughout training camp. And I'm not saying they grew numb to it, but it's almost like they embraced it and that they were at their best in those moments. And so those are the 3 things that we wanted to be about. And I think we brought that to light. We'll reassess as a coaching staff, where we need to go from here, but we got plenty of time to do that.
Well, there's a real possibility you're going to have to replace coaches this offseason. How big of a challenge, 1, do you foresee that being? And 2, is there a sense of pride that people are looking at a unit that you put together and saying, we think he would be a great leader over here?
I told the players this just a week or 2 ago that it's rare in year 1 that you feel like you have a 5-star staff. And yet that's what I believe. Just over the course of the season, seeing how they conducted themselves, what they sacrificed, the time they put in. We got a great collection of coaches. It's the right mix of experience, energy, ideas. And so I think they're a big reason for the success that we were able to have and the games that we were able to win. To your point, I do think it's a lot. I see future head coaches on this staff. I see future coordinators. I see these young coaches being future position coaches. I see that all across the board. And so when you have success and you win games, normally that's what happens. I know we already have some slips coming through that other teams would like to interview some of our guys, and I'm all for it, man. I want these guys to continue to ascend. Anything I can do to help them out, I think they all know I'm more than willing to do that. but big part of what this collection of guys brought to the table was they all wanted to be here. You know, that was a big thing for me. I want guys that want to be here. And so if a guy wants to continue to build upon what we started, then I would love that as well. But this is a 5-star staff, and it's no surprise to me that we got a number of coaches that are garnering interest right now.
And how did your dynamic with Ryan play out, as you imagine, the idea of putting your vision together, building out this roster, and enjoying this success this season?
Yeah, no, I think we worked in tandem with all the decisions that went on during the course of the year. You know, I certainly rely on him a ton because he's been through this a number of times already. Whereas for me, a lot of this was a first for me. So between Ryan handling a lot of the roster construction and the decision making over the course of the week, who's up, who's down, the injuries, you know, I thought this thing worked out really, really well. And with that being said, we'll go back in the bunker here after a couple of weeks, and we'll assess where we can get better as well. That's our commitment to each other. That's our commitment to this organization is we got to continue to clean up, you know, where we can find little edges that make us a little bit better over the course of the season. So that's what we'll do.
And you just touched on it a little bit. What's your process going to look like for evaluating the job you did in year one, and looking at what you think you did well, what you can improve on?
Yeah, I mean, we will always dive into the self-scout process as a coaching staff. We have a ton of decisions to make with the roster. I think it always starts with making sure you're accurate on the evaluations of your own and how well they fit what you're asking them to do, and whether it's someone you want to continue to move forward with or not. And I think now we're just at a much better position as a coaching staff in going into this season, just knowing who our guys are and what they'll end up being able to contribute for us in the future. And so we got to nail those. That'll be the number one objective when we come back from a little bit of a break. And I got a lot of confidence that we'll be able to get this thing right. But the self-scout process that'll occur. I mean, we got a whole off-season agenda. I know I like to think that we don't do a whole lot, but like the off-season is a whole new season of its own. So our coaching staff, they need a little break themselves, and I know we'll come back renewed and ready to go.
And from your seat, what's the significance of the offensive continuity that you seem to have in place going into 2026? Players, plays, all the things that carry forward from here.
Yeah. I mean, I think back at this year, and we made a number of strides. Okay, and Ryan did a phenomenal job acquiring talent, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. Up front, this offensive line, I feel like we got something to really build upon there. We've got weapons on the perimeter. Our quarterback's going to be a special player in this league. I think it starts there. Our running game picked up as the year went on, which I think is desperately needed, particularly we get these home games late in the year. It's a huge part of what we do and what we're about. And so with that being said, I think we did a number of really good things on offense, and yet we haven't even scratched the surface of what we're fully capable of yet. And so we'll talk about that. We'll address that as a coaching staff. How can we get better? I think it always starts with me as the offensive play caller. There's some areas I need to shore up. The weekly process that we had, it always starts there. But I think our guys are going to be a lot further along when they come back in the springtime. And like you mentioned, we got a core group of guys on that side of the ball that are able to have some familiarity. So thank you guys for everything this year.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Here is there's a let's do it. All right, you got this.
Team and our players are first, and that has a huge impact on how we did this year and how we move forward. I want to thank Ben for his dedication to this job. It didn't feel, he talks about being a first-time coach, it didn't feel that way at all. His ability to take, like you said, the words off the wall and push that to his players and see them respond was incredible. Even in some of the feedback we got, these guys were just doubling down on his message. When it got to the locker room, there was no hesitation. There was no gray area. They pushed forward because they believed in what he was saying and what he needed from them, which was incredible. I want to thank our players for putting it on the line. Their hard work and dedication, selflessness, being great teammates to each other was incredible to see their buy-in. Again, that's the reason why we do what we do, is putting our players in position to be successful, and seeing them do their part was excellent. Especially that leadership group was awesome. Want to thank our coaches. Ben challenged them. We knew with an early bye week that development from our depth to our practice squad was going to be really important. And they did that. I saw a lot of players level up throughout the season. If that was from rookies or guys that were maybe not even on the roster when we started, they were prepared and ready to go. And really specifically DA and his ability and his defensive staff's ability to do that. There's a lot of challenges, guys up and down. And anyone that came in there was ready to go to compete and help us win football games. He did an incredible job putting that group together. Our support staff, selflessness, that's the word that comes to my mind, and passion in terms of, again, putting the players first, making sure they're in the best position, taking care of their bodies, nutrition, staying strong. We had a number of guys do some great things in terms of maintaining their strength from the first week to the very end, which is critical for us to have success on the back end of the season. Our front office, just in terms of the evaluation process, bringing in guys that can help impact our team. You look at that all pro staff, you got a draft pick, you got a guy you traded for, and someone that you acquired in free agency. And that's a lot of credit to that group. I got to give Ian and Jeff a shout out. Even through this, when you win playoff games and you push back, the calendar gets shrunk on you. And those guys are up there running free agent meetings right now, keeping this thing moving forward, because we know the challenges that we have continue to build this roster. And then I want to thank our fans. As Coach said, I'll never forget those playoff games, games at the end of the season. They brought it. I had never seen Soldier Field like that before. I can't wait to get back to that point. I had family members flying in O'Hare texting me saying, I've never seen anything like this in terms of the amount of pride that our fans had wearing their Bears gear, pumped up about the upcoming game. We felt that, and that's part of a job that we don't talk about a lot. It's just inspiring a fan base, inspiring the community, bringing that joy and that fun to a community because of the football team and how they're doing. Coach hit it. We didn't reach what we wanted, the goals that we wanted to hit, and that's to be a championship caliber team. That'll never change. But as we've moved a couple of days past that, I am proud of the progress that we've made. And knowing that, we can't be complacent. We got to keep pushing forward. We both come from organizations that have stacked success back-to-back years, and we know the challenge that comes with having success and then trying to get back to that the following year. I can tell you right now, we're all excited for that challenge in terms of building this team back up, making the tweaks, continuing to tighten the screws on the process and the people that we need to continue to elevate for us to get back to where we were and then exceed that and win championships around here. I do think it's important to take a step back, to get fresh eyes, to try not to wait maybe the last 3 games heavier than everything else. So we'll do that, get back together, look at the roster. As Coach said, there's some challenges and some big decisions we got to make. But I'm excited for that. Usually that means you're in a good position and you're having success. And the more success you have, the more challenges and hard decisions you got to make. And those will be critical for us to sustain it. In terms of injuries, just some updates. Obviously some long-term injuries because of them happening late in the season. Both Ozzie and Noah, they've had surgery and they've already kicked off their process. Guys that we expect in the offseason in some capacity, whether that's in the spring or the start of training camp. So Shamar is doing well. He's rehabbing. Dio, TJ, Smitty, Zay, Frazier. Karan, all those guys are progressing to be back this offseason. Some minor deal that happened in the last game, Jalen Johnson. It's just a minor thing, no surgery. He had a wrist. He'll be fine shortly. And then Jordan McFadden, credit to him and his toughness. Had an ankle injury. He's got to get that worked on. He finished the game, which was incredible. But he'll be back and ready to go at some point this offseason. So I'll open up the questions from there.
Ryan, with Ozzy, what is the timetable on his return, and how is that going to impact what you may or may not have to do to get a veteran option to fill in?
Yeah, that's a part of our job. Really unfortunate because I thought he was coming along. I was looking forward to him getting this offseason. I don't have a specific timetable. I'm sure it'll be somewhere, deep into next year for the injury. So had a good conversation with him. He knows this is part of his journey he's going to have to overcome. I got a lot of faith in him and our staff to get him back ready to go whenever that is. But specific timetables, I don't have that right now.
Ryan, with Caleb specifically, how much of what you saw this year was something that you saw him do in college? And did you do anything that went beyond your expectations or that leveled up in a way that surprised you?
Yeah, when you watch his college tape, you knew that some of those wild throws were part of his game. I would say the one thing that stands out that I was happy to see come back was just his pocket presence, his ability to escape. I think that's a rare trait that he has. You saw that come alive. But with that said, and Ben hit it, there's still a lot of work to be done. But I think it gets you excited about what he can become as long as he continues on the path that he was on before.
You mentioned the hard decisions that you have to make, and you got two safeties on Brisker and Kevin Byard. I mean, what are your initial thoughts about the potential bringing both of those guys back, or is that unrealistic?
Yeah, like I said, we're going to take a step back and kind of evaluate that and put that puzzle together. It's actually 4 safeties that are not under contract for next year. So I got a lot of faith in our process that we'll do that. I think Kevin's a special player. I have no problem saying, that's a player that we would like to have back. But again, when you add the other safeties into that mix and all the other decisions we have across the roster, cap restraints, things like that, it'll be a challenge. But that's part of what we do.
Right now, how do you reflect on Ben's work in developing players and establishing this culture and taking this thing the way he did in year one?
It was incredible. I loved watching him. I asked him the other day, I'm like, just his messaging to the team, it moves the team, and they're locked in and they listen and they take it back to the locker room and to the field, and the buy-in was incredible. I'll go back to training camp. He needed a physical day in the dog days at camp, and that was a really cool opportunity to see those guys buy into what he was saying, do something really hard. And in the moment, does it feel good? No, but they believed from his message that would help us down the road, and they went all out with it. And you saw that go through the entire season.
Ben talked about the poise under pressure in some of these late, one-score games. How did you see the staff sort of foster that throughout the year?
Yeah, I go back to, he set it up in the beginning. I mean, we watched some examples across the league of games that were a little, out of whack at halftime and even into the third quarter. And we got some guys in the room that have been in those situations and heard from them. How did you handle it? Locker room, your teammates, and poise was really the common message between everybody. Or if it was on the other side, it was a lack of poise. And so it started early. The staff is on the same page with Ben. Like they don't panic. They keep coaching. And they put part of really good coaches, and my experience is they put you in tough positions in training camp and in practice to see how you handle it, and you get repetitions at it. It comes alive on game day, which it did.
Ryan, what would be the difference going into an offseason where you are now looking to complete a roster to be a Super Bowl contender versus starting where you've been in the past trying to build the roster? And how will that difference kind of inform decisions that you make?
Yeah, you just have more constraints, but at the same time, I don't think the process changes. You're going to identify the guys that fit what we want in our football team, which Coach hit, and you just keep trying to acquire those players. We know what they look like, we know how they act, they know how they talk, and we'll continue to do that. I think that's part of the thing is, one, can you self-evaluate and be critical of yourself and your team to make sure that you know what you have in the building? And then can you just keep pounding away and sticking to your process? You make tweaks, of course, but stick to the process of bringing in the right types of people, and it usually works out for you. I think when you see it across the league all the time, you panic and you want to do crazy things that everybody else wants you to do. It leads to some situations that you can't get out of. So we want to stay flexible. We want to stay open-minded. We want to stay committed to building this team the right way, because I think that's the best way to sustain success. We're always going to be opportunistic. We're going to go through opportunities that pop up and talk through them. And is this best for us short term? Is it best for us long term? And then we move from there.
And Max Crosby isn't coming.
I don't know.
How would you evaluate the offensive line, specifically the guys you brought in this offseason to be kind of that core and have that veteran leadership?
Yeah, it was cool to see them go through the process. I think one thing with O-line, it's almost like it's choreographed. Like, you got to work together. It's a unique position where that's true. And seeing those guys figure it out early on, and then for that to come together, I think the kind of the pinnacle of that was probably the Philly game, where you could see those guys rolling. And we took their identity that day. And so it was really cool to see. And they're all very different. You know, Joe's quiet, Drew's cerebral, Jonah's the physicality that you get from that group, a little bit more vocal than the rest. You saw Darnell growing because of his experience with those interior threes. So proud of the way that they moved this year, and look forward to them getting back to work and continuing to improve.
How would you evaluate Darnell? Where did you see the jump with Darnell's growth this year?
Yeah, it was steady through the season. I think that's one thing we've challenged him, is the consistency part. I think there's some ups and downs every once in a while. But when he strings it together, it's really, really good, and it's going to help us win football games. I love watching him come off the ball and move people. And when he has this confidence and belief in himself that he's the best on the field, I think he can be one of the best to do it. He just has to show up and continue to put that work in and get there. So I love his work in the off season and the weight room. I think it started there for him and then built up. But with those guys and their leadership, it definitely rubbed off on Darnell.
Ryan, how would you evaluate the defense, particularly the pass rush and the run defense?
Yeah, there's a lot going on there, just in terms of we had some injuries going on that you have to overcome. I think that's an area we're going to continue to press and get better. I look forward to Shamar getting back and Dio getting back. I thought Sweat did a good job this year. I think sometimes we get hung up on sacks, and sacks are important. He did get into double digits, but I think his all-around game was good. The way he defended the run, defended the perimeter, as well as applied pressure, was good. But we need him to continue to get better too. So we'll evaluate everything, but that's always O-line, D-line is always going to be a space where we want to get better.
Ryan, how does it feel? Some synergy with draft and development this year, and if so, what was different besides you had different coaches involved?
Yeah, I'll just talk about this year. I mean, drafting and developing, that's the ultimate collaboration between the front office and the coaching staff. You got to have a shared vision of what we're asking those guys to do, and then that commitment to the players got to commit to improving, but also the coaches pouring into them and getting them up to speed, so that they can become pros is important. So that clear vision, clear collaboration between coach and front office, that's something that we got going on, and we'll continue to improve and get better. But yeah, you can see it come to life. You can really see it come to life this year. If it was the way Colson played, to Kyle. I mean, Kyle did a great job this year too. So that's a lot of coaching. Once guys get in the building, and they did a great job.
Ryan, when you win so many games by a close margin, do you look at that as, hey, we know how to win, or as our margin is really thin going forward, and maybe you can't be satisfied?
Yeah, well, I'll just start with the last thing you said. I don't think you can be satisfied. I heard the whole cardiac bear thing. I'd rather not be the cardiac bears. But if that's what that game needs, then that's what you need to do. But I do think you got to win close games. When you get down to that 2 minutes, it's important. They repped that a lot, and the guys were prepared for it. I don't think you want to be living on the edge all the time, but I think what you can take from this season is that we were able to have poise down the stretch of games and be poised to finish, and guys made plays when they needed to be made. I don't think that's a characteristic that you should ever shy away from.
What was your point of view on the touchdown at the end of regulation?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. It was a ridiculous throw, and that's, I mean, credit to him and his genetics and his arm and ability to create and pocket awareness. And I think this year I realized how athletic he is. Like, I knew he was a good athlete. He's a little awkward in his movements, but like it's unique in the way that he can get out of things and move his body. So, yeah, he'll continue to get better and lean into the traits that he has.
When you evaluate your draft class, is there a trait that stands out that was a common theme through everybody there? Because there's an argument that this was probably the best draft class you've had with so many guys hitting and so many guys that show potential that didn't get to play this season.
They all love football. It's passion for the game. That's one of our criteria that we have on this kind of gear to make it tick. They love football. It only takes a few minutes being around Colston, Loveland to know that he is so passionate about it. He wants to be great. He wants to be great for his teammates. He loves ball. They all love ball. And that's a key thing. We'll continue to lean into that.
Zay's situation was kind of unique. What did he do this season? And is he, whatever he was dealing with, is he past it now where you anticipate he'll be able to contribute next year?
Yeah, so I had a good conversation with him. He's back. He'll be back, going in this offseason like everybody else. He feels like he's in a really good place to develop and move forward. Definitely set back. He's got a mountain to climb just for missing so much ball he needed to play. So that'll be up to him to be able to get himself in the right position to compete for a roster spot.
Right. With DJ, made some of the biggest touchdowns this team's ever seen. Also, not the numbers that he put up a couple years ago. What's kind of your overall perspective on his fit this year and the moving forward?
Yeah, I'll use his words. He didn't care about stats. All he cared about winning. It's the most winning DJ's ever had, probably since high school. That's all he cares about. In terms of roster, like I said, we got a lot of decisions to make and figuring that out. I think what stood out about DJ this year is the level of toughness rubbed off on our team. Guys, if they're dinged up, like they almost had to go because DJ was going. He was able to fight through a lot. Got a lot of respect for him.
Thank you.
Wow. So there we go. There you got it. Press conference. All right. The clip courtesy of the Chicago Bears. And, he mentioned Kevin Byard. He wants Kevin Byard back. Very politically correct answer on DJ. Both from Ben and from Ryan. Let's take a look at this play here. And after looking at it, there's a lot of questions. Just take a look at it.
Play 81 of the night for Chicago. From the 48, deep drop Williams. He's got time. Shot downfield and trouble is intercepted by Cam Curl. Curl goes over, makes the play.
I don't know exactly what Moore was thinking here, but it looked like he just was not interested. Curl had his eyes on Caleb Williams. He saw the release point. I'm not sure that Moore ever did. It was almost like he didn't know it was coming. Curl broke on the ball. What a sensational play by Cam Curl.
All right, so if you look at that, here's the one thing everyone's talking about, and even I thought there should have been something done. However, you got to remember that Ben is a big game hunter. Okay. And everybody's talking about even Chase Daniel and a couple other people. Like, you don't know exactly what their route combo is. We have an idea of what it should be because of our knowledge of football, but you don't know exactly what the route concept is. Let's see. Okay. Here. If you see this, okay, so they're running. They just taken off. Okay. They just taken off. So they're running hand in hand, step to step. Now, here's my thought. I'm looking at this, and here, let me. Okay, so let me. Red. Okay. Now, here's what I want to. Let's check this out. Here's the thing that I was. I'm going to upload these and talk about them. So I'm looking at this and I'm telling myself, and I just redid this. Here's where I'm having an issue. Maybe it's not as cut and dry as I thought it was. Okay. Here's why. Let's get rid of this one. Get rid of this one. No, sorry. Let's get rid of it. Let me zoom in on it. Okay. So here you see they're running. You see them circled. It seems as if Rome Odunze, he's the one right by the 30, is running a clear out route. Okay? Seems like he's running a clear out route and DJ is behind him. Now, we're all saying DJ should have cut it across the 30, which is what I said as well. DJ's got to cut it across the 30. Okay? Now, in this, if you see Rome, and I'll play the clip again. But if you see Rome stops his route. So Rome goes up, there's a safety to his left, and there's a guy to his right. Okay? Now, if Rome runs through, my question is, does he take that safety out that is right by DJ Moore? Because as Rome slows down, so does the DB. The DB stops and he sees DJ, and he also notices that Rome has stopped his route. Because if Rome stops his route, here's what happens. See, at the top of the circle, I made it too big. At the top of the circle is the DB, the safety. If Rome continues to run forward, run straight up the middle, and the safety who's covering DJ Moore doesn't go with him, well, guess what? Caleb can throw the ball right to the. You see the official at the end? Caleb can throw that ball, or Rome can bend toward to the right. Caleb can put that ball there, and that's a touchdown. So that safety, there's a rule in football with your DBs. You got to be deeper than their deepest man. You got to be deeper than their deepest guy. Okay? So if you see that, Rome stops. Now, if Rome runs through, that safety's in a bind because that's what you want to do. You want to put someone in conflict, always. You want to put someone in conflict. He's the guy in conflict. Because Rome's inside the other safety. And now who's to say DJ Moore's route, which was steeper, wasn't the correct route? Who's to say they weren't going for the big one? So when you do that, no, that's the first one. So if you see, like you could almost see Rome Odunze kind of like looking over here because he stopped his route. See where that safety is? If Rome continues to go upfield, this safety down here who peels off and goes DJ is screwed. Caleb can hit him. Caleb hits Rome Odunze with the bomb. We're crazy. We're going crazy. Blah, 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 blah. But Rome is most likely, this is what I'm thinking, is supposed to run through, which takes this safety away. If he takes the safety away, DJ is wide open here. So, I think DJ, watching this, I think DJ, when he's going here, sees the safety there and is like, oh, okay, well, he's not going to throw it because this guy didn't go with Rome Odunze. He didn't go to Rome. Rome didn't clear him out. This guy's coming over here, so Cato's not going to throw it to me, is my thought. So if that's the case, we don't know exactly where the route was. Was his route on an angle, or was DJ's route a flat, across? Was it like a dig? Or because if he's running an over route, and this is what we're talking about, like Chase Daniel and other people who broke it down, and myself, yeah, we thought it was an over route. But if it's an over route, it's not an in. A dig or a deep in, it's a square in. You saw the whole time he had no business. He had no intention of stopping, chopping his feet, and coming across the middle. So that's where my thought. That's where my confusion is. The questions that I have. Why did Rome stop? If Rome keeps going, he's wide open. That safety bites. If he stays with DJ, Rome is open. Drop it over the DB's head because he's got the other safety to his left. No way he can catch Rome. None. So was he supposed to pull that safety and DJ go on an angle, and that'll take him right toward the front pylon of the end zone. So that's the one thing we don't know. And Ben Johnson avoided it. Man, he's one hell of a dancer because he danced around that question. So we can't get that. The only thing that has me thinking that DJ was more false because DJ didn't want to, he wasn't available. He wasn't available. King Booker World, this is true. This is why you can't say DJ lost us the game. He said, I'm not even mad at this play. I'm pissed at the Rome drop TD because this wouldn't even be an issue right now if Rome caught the effing ball. I agree. Which is why I've always said Rome's not a number one. Like you got to go in focused. This is the opening drive. You get to go, you knock the number one off, you deliver the first blow. That's a haymaker. That's a nice shot to the jaw. That's a nice shot to the jaw. Opening drive, we go down and we score on the team with the number one offense. Then Rome again. Yes. It was 4th and 1. It was 3rd and 1. And Rome missed on the safety. We handed it off to DeAndre Swift. Rome missed on the safety. Remember, DeAndre Swift jumped up over the dude, and then the other safety came and hit him when he was in the air. Well, if Rome makes that block, DeAndre Swift just runs to the corner of the end zone, front pylon, game touchdown. Rome was not present. So Rome fucked up a lot in that game. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That's why he was so distraught in his exit interviews. Because when you see this, now you're like, holy shit, now I see what happened. See, everyone's like, well, he should have cut across the middle. What if that's not the route? What if because Big Ben Johnson is a big game hunter, he wanted to end it right there? What if he wanted to end it right there with DJ? That play to DJ. And if that's the case, well then Caleb should be reading that guy who made the interception. What does he do? Probably because Rome stopped the route. He's like, well, I can't throw it to him now because he stopped. Maybe he's thinking that DJ is going to be open because that dude was going to go with Rome, but then Rome stops. The other guy stopped, the defender stops, and has a chance to make a play on the. They'll never tell us. They'll just say miscommunication. What did Ben say? I didn't even look at it. Ben, you lie like a mother Hubbard, boy. What did Deion Brooks say? I know you fucking lying. You looked at the tape. You know it. You just weren't going to throw your players under the bus. Either one of them. Either one of the three. Either one of the three. So now do you understand when I say you take care of the little things, there are no big things. Rome, you keep running through, that puts that safety who made the interception, that puts him in conflict. Because if Rome runs through, Rome's wide open. You saw Rome could keep veering to the right, or Caleb could throw him open to the right. Because if you see the safety down here, the ball's probably DJ's running that way. The ball's probably being thrown because maybe Caleb sees Rome not running, so he's starting to throw toward DJ. The safety here says, "Oh, I got to get him." It's a perfect. He splits these two deep safeties. I'm talking about Rome Odunze does, and then stops. Let's watch it one more time. Let's watch it. The first one is the actual TV copy, but the second one is the all 22. Watch. Watch what happens to Rome when he goes through and he stops.
Play 81 of the night for Chicago. From the 48, deep drop Williams. Got time. Shot downfield and trouble is intercepted by Cam Curl. Curl goes over, makes the play.
I don't know exactly what Moore was thinking here, but it looked like he just was not interested. Curl had his eyes on Caleb Williams. He saw the release point. I'm not sure that Moore ever did. It was almost like he didn't know it was coming. Curl broke on the ball. What a sensational play by Cam Curl.
Do you see it? Do you see? Rome eased up. Rome eased up. DJ saw the defender come toward him. DJ's like, oh, he's not throwing it to me because the defender's here. Oh, snap. He's throwing it to me. The defender makes a play. Again, we don't know what routes were run or what routes were called on that particular play. What's your assignment? Alignment, assignment, attitude. Okay, alignment, assignment, attitude. If your job is to run through, then run through. Rome, run through. Run past everybody. And if you split the safeties, look for the ball. If you split the safeties, you look for the ball. Because one safety's on your back. He's over there. If I got a safety here, guess what? Caleb, throw it over this way. I'll run underneath it and get it. So you split the safeties, run, look for the ball. Caleb should lead you open. Just throw it, put some air under it, throw it toward the back pylon. Okay? Leave you with enough room so you don't have to chop your feet. Basically, drop that one in the bucket. So, more questions than answers. I still love DJ. I would love him to be a better route runner. Because if he's a better route runner, we don't question what he did on that. Whether he should have come across or not. We're like, well, his route running is precise, so that had to be if it's an over route, what you're saying it is. And here's where even Chase Daniels contradicts himself. If it's an over routes aren't sharp. You run over. And he's saying DJ should have cut it flat. Well, that's not an over route. That's a dig. That's a deep in. So he's running an over route. You talk about the over route, but then you're saying he needs to run a dig. You can't have that. There's a dig and an over route. So, and I think DJ was mad. I think he was pissed. I mean, I love DJ. I just think he's a diva at times. So these are route concepts. Okay? You split the two safeties and they have to go with you, especially if Rome starts angling to the right. If he splits those safeties angles to the right, that safety who comes down for DJ has to go with them. You got to stay deeper than their deepest man. If he goes with them, guess what? Who's trailing? Rome or DJ's trailing with the over route. Now, should that be called a dig? Should they have had DJ? We don't know what the routes were called. But if that's the case, maybe you should have had DJ run a dig, a 10 and in, a 15 and in. Because that would have put him across the 30-yard line, catch it, turn, go to the 25, 20, whatever, maybe make him some guy, whatever. Now you're in chip shot range. So stay off of DJ. I would too. DJ, I apologize. I don't know the route concepts you had. I don't know the route you called, but you're not fully at fault. You're part of the issue, but you're not the biggest culprit. And again, if Caleb saw that and fell through it, wanting DJ to flatten out, well, DJ's job is not to flatten out. It might not have been to flatten out. If he's running his over route, he's already running on an angle. So it is where he's thinking the ball's going to be. So don't throw it to where he's not. So I'm not sure. J Pa, what's up, buddy? Appreciate it. So I've never seen that all 22 angle before. It's a pretty good look. Yeah. I believe that's Jason, right? Jason? J Pa 9958 is Jason. What's up, cuz? So this is what I'm going to do next year. I will have breakdowns. We'll have another show. We'll have probably maybe on Tuesdays. All right, we'll have breakdowns. We'll do phenomenal breakdown. All right. And we remember, here's the one thing that we have to understand. I understand route concepts. Okay? Like a lot of people who break down film do. I don't know what that assigned route was. What was the assigned route? What was DJ's job? Was it the over route? Because if it's the over route, why are we yelling at DJ? Or why are we yelling at him as much? Because I still say, go get the ball. But he saw the defender there. It's like, okay, I'm running the over route. I'm not getting the ball. Which is why he slowed down. So listen, when people tell you, and I made the same mistake, when people tell you, oh, he should have run this, because we understand concepts and it makes sense, but that might not have been his assignment on that play. And maybe DJ just did his own thing. That's possible too. But I don't think DJ would do his own thing there when the time of the game, we're in overtime, we just need another 15 yards. His relationship with Caleb had been couldn't get any chemistry together for the first year and a half together. I think DJ's going to run the right route, the route that he's called to run. Now, not following through. Okay, maybe he didn't see it because it looked like he gave up. It's like, oh, I didn't see it. Oh, snap, the ball. So, interesting breakdown. I guess we'll never find out about it. But for everyone who piled on DJ, and I was a little mad with him because I want him to make big plays. And he has. He's made phenomenal plays. I wanted him to make the big play on that one too. But it might not be DJ's fault. Because that could have been Caleb just trying to throw the ball. He sees it flatten out. He wanted to throw it there, and hopefully DJ could get there, and DJ didn't. And it literally could have been miscommunication, which is why you don't throw it unless you're on the same page. If you're thinking, well, if I throw it, he'll run flat. No. He has a trajectory to get to. That could have been the trajectory, was that over route, maybe the front of the end zone. But Rome stops. DB stops. DB can step up and make that play. So, listen, 2 hours is coming on. I want to thank you guys, man. You guys were awesome. All right, we got to hear the press conference with Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles. We got to break down that film. I'll tell you what, I love breaking down film. Love it. So we're going to get another program where I can go back and forth, circle, highlight. So next season we're going to have another show on Sports Zone Chicago. We're going to be breaking down film. So it'll probably be air on Tuesdays. Okay, so you can look forward to breakdown with SuperBack. Interesting. The one thing everybody said was the weakness of Caleb is what ended the season, throwing with anticipation, which he vastly improved on. Yeah. He anticipated DJ doing one thing, and DJ said, I'm doing what I was told. He could have been. Potentially. DJ said, I'm doing what my route was, and that's an over route. So, we'll never know. So if people talk to you and say it was DJ's fault, blah 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 blah, now you get to tell them you don't know the route he was supposed to run. And if people say he's supposed to run a dig, say, do you know that? Were you in practice? Do you know that's the route he was told to run on that particular play? We don't know. Remember, Ben is a big game hunter. He would have loved to have won it, caught it, hit the big play, DJ run up 10, 12, 20 yards, 10, 15 yards, 20 yards into the end zone, game over. Imagine how it would have been rocking at that point. Ben's a big game hunter. And let's not forget, DJ was in the tent too. DJ he was in the tent for a concussion protocol. He passed it. And then as soon as he comes out, he gets tackled, knocked on his head. Was he all there? I'll tell you what, I played a couple times where I know I had a concussion, and I was just like, man, I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm like, just call a pass play. Tell the quarterback, call a pass play. My bell, I rang my bell. They rung my bell. So I get it. I've been there. I understand it. So let me get my bearings about me. Run a pass play. And the quarterback would. George or Paul. So, hey, I love it. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it big time. Big time, big time. We'll see you on Friday. Listen, do not forget. Hey, just because football season is over, do not forget. You know what? Valentine's Day is coming up. All right? You can still get your good, better, best t-shirts. You can still get your FGB t-shirts. You can still get your Bears Victory Monday t-shirts. Okay? You can still get those. Get it for Valentine's Day. Have your loved one reach out or hit the website and get you a Valentine's Day present. That'll be, how awesome would that be? All right? You see the QR code in the upper left-hand corner. Take a picture of that. You can go right to the site. Get our Cigar Fanatic shirts, Coaching Matters shirts. Let's not forget. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Stupid Junior. Paul's a woman. Our quarterback from the Chargers. Well, let's get our stuff for Sports Zone Chicago. Get our swag. Always see it up here in the left-hand corner. Here's another QR code right here on this flyer. We have tons of cool stuff. You see, we got the hoodie, we got the Cigar Fanatic, we got Coaching Matters, we got FGB, got Sports Zone Chicago, Bears Victory Monday, FGB hats, and I had another design that I was gonna, if they won, I was gonna break it out. It'll be up here on the website probably later this week. No, it's Wednesday. Maybe early next week, because now I'm just gonna fine tune it, and I think you're gonna like this other design. You're going to like this other design. All right? So make sure you get your stuff now. Do it now, because guess what? You're going to forget. We're going to forget. Spring training is going to come, or training, OTAs, mini camp, training camp, preseason. You're going to forget. That's why you get your shirt now so you have it for the season. All right? Get your shirts now while it's fresh in your mind so you have it for the season. Get your FGB, your Coaching Matters, Sports Zone Chicago, Bears Victory Monday. All right, your good, better, best shirts, or the other design, and I'm telling you, you're going to love it. Love it, love it, love it. Once I get it confirmed, I'll show it to you I'll put it up here on the screen, either Friday or Monday, all right? But for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, have a phenomenal day. I need to go pick up the Warden from CrossFit. All right? You have a good day. It's going to be a little warmer today. It's going to be in the low 30s. It's going to be right around freezing. Okay? Still, dress warm. All right? Make sure you're dressing properly. You hear I got a bug in my throat, a little frog in my throat. I've been taking some cough and flu medicine this morning. I'll continue this afternoon. But please take care of yourself and let your loved ones know you love them, because tomorrow is promised to no one. Guys, I will see you on Friday. All right. I appreciate all of you for tuning in and supporting me. All right. So I thank you, and I'm grateful. All right. I got to bounce. Everyone here at Sports Zone, from everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, you guys have a phenomenal day. With your boy, the SuperBack. Guess what? I am out.
Place the place.